Hi, Greg. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, sir.
So, Greg, I'm the dermatologist. This is in my clinic here. I see lots of patients with skin cancer, and I see people who are amputees. I understand you have a limb loss issue, although I didn't realize it walking in here. So, tell me a little bit about yourself, because there's a product line that we've developed called VitalFit that a lot of people who have limb loss have been using, and I understand you love this stuff. So we'd like to hear about it. So tell me about yourself.
Okay. Well, my name's Greg Mannino. I've been a prosthetic user for almost 40 years now, and interesting enough, I've seen the evolution of prosthetics from when they were carbon wood to high-tech microprocessor, carbon fiber, all the exotic socket materials that are available today, and just a long-term high-end user. I guess that would probably be one way to say it. I pursued sports and disabled alpine stuff for a long time, and was 5 Paralympic team, 1 Olympic team, 20 years on the U.S. ski team. So kind of a high-level user, but been hiking, biking, doing everything that I possibly could to stay fit, to prepare for those Paralympic moments. So I've been a pretty active user, but not knowing that this skincare system was available. So I met Chris, and
let me ask you a backup question. How did you become a person with limb loss?
I was electrocuted. So I took 40,000 volts in my right hand. Here in Southern California, we were trimming some palm trees and we grounded.
You're not an electrician?
No, it was just a 17-year-old summer job trimming trees. So ended up contacting a power line and dropping that down to the ground, and quick electrocution. So.
And damaged the blood supply to your leg?
Correct, yeah. So I had a third degree and fourth degree, I guess, the worst burns to my left leg, residual limb, my right leg, numerous spots around. So my skin integrity on my amputated side is not the greatest. So, but yeah, it was quick electrical burns and third degree skin grafting. And
where were you living at that time?
In Yorba Linda. So that's southern, Orange County, Orange County. So,
so had you been in high school at that time?
That's right. I was going into my senior year.
So tell us about your senior year. Did you make it through?
I did make it through. I was about 3.5, 4 months in the hospital with skin grafting and debriding of the burn scars, and obviously amputation. I had a great toe in my foot. Right foot was amputated as well. So I made it through that year, but it was, I don't believe I was ambulating. I was in a wheelchair for quite some time. It's just the extent of the burns. Anytime I stand up, I'd start squirting blood, out of all the.
What was your mindset at the time?
Well, I think fortunately for me, I had some great athletes come visit me in the hospital and say, "Hey, what you used to do." I was a big skier as a child with my family and friends. We were always up on the ski hills. Fortunately, get to grow up in that atmosphere, but I just encouraged, like, hey, you can still go do this. There's still these sports available, and that really changed my mindset, because 40 years ago, prosthetic care was carving wood, kind of. So I think I got, quicker past the mindset of, hey, look at what happened to me.
Did you graduate with the whole class?
I did.
It must have been a pretty emotional moment for you.
I think it was probably, I made it. I think I was a big football player and high school athlete, so I think that was probably, when I look back on the emotional part of it, I was like, I didn't get to continue competing in that sport, but I did find, alpine skiing as a sport to kind of focus my energies on. So, it was really fortunate to have those right people come in and reach out to me and educate me what was available. So that's kind of what I almost do today.
So you're a champion downhill skier.
I still do it for fun. I coach a lot now. I coach my son, just turned 18, but I coached him and his group of boys through Buddy Warner from they were 5 till about 2 years ago, and they all quit racing because high school boys. But I had a lot of success in the Paralympic and Olympic level. And
when you ski, do you ski with your prosthesis on, or do you ski with one ski?
When I competed, I skied one ski 3-track. Right. So, we were kind of, it was 20 years ago now. It was in the 90s when I was kind of one of the better guys, the guy to beat in some of the venue. But the prosthetic technology for ski prosthetics, for sport-specific prosthetics, wasn't really there yet. So Currently today, I use a prosthesis. You would never know I'm above or transfemoral amputee or above knee amputee. I've helped in developing these systems, and that's kind of what we encourage anymore is to get away from 3-track. Let's use the prosthesis, and that's again where this VitalFit line has really come into play, because the activity levels of amputees are like any sport; they're just climbing and climbing and climbing with. But that interface to socket problems that we experience is
so
really
have you
helpful.
noticed an easier time of how the prosthetic device fits you or feels on you with the products?
Oh, absolutely. This product line, and that's how I met Chris and Skip about in September, 6 months or 8 months ago. But I was with what I do today. I'm still pretty active for an old guy, but I hike, I guide a lot, I do a lot of different activities. But I was experienced even with the high-tech socket designs and some of the latest and greatest componentry that we have available to us. I was experiencing skin breakdown. If I hiked up hills a lot, I'd have proximal skin issues on trim lines. When I descend, I would always have issues, and I literally had a callousing on my ischium that was there for 20 years, and nothing I could do. No product out there was giving me the opportunity to reduce that inflammation and take away that Indian burn for all these years until I found this system. So, in a long answer, yeah, it's amazing. The outcome. I haven't had skin breakdown since I've been using this.
That's terrific. That's terrific. So you use all 4 products?
I do.
Tell us what you said. You shower and wash with the cleanser. Is that what you do?
Yes, I use it daily. I'm kind of one of those guys who shower 2-3 times a day. I'm not just that guy. So keeping the skin clean, keeping the healthy integrity, keeping the bacteria. So I'm using the daily cleanser.
Did you use that to wash your liner as well?
I do. So I wear Skin Fit. I'm not a liner user. I prefer that for performance, but then again, it's a kind of a two-edged sword. When you're wearing Skin Fit, there's no liner to pad you from socket. Even though I have a flexible interface to the socket, it's just even more intimate, I guess would be the best word to use. So, but yeah, I do. I wash the residual limb. I wash the socket. I keep it clean. I'm really a proponent of keeping it clean, because less bacteria, less skin breakdown. It's nothing I have to tell you as the doctor. But so we use the skin cleanser every day, twice a day, sometimes 3 times.
So you use this prior to do you wash before you put your prosthetic device on? Because other people have told me that they don't, because of the swelling that might occur with the moisture.
Well, I'm pretty stable, so I've been amputee a long time. So with a residual limb, I don't have a big fluctuation of volume. So I can take it off. Don, I don't have that issue like a newer amputee can experience, but I do clean it. I do use the moisturizer.
Which is the daytime product you use? You use the powder one or the day moisturizer?
I'm using the 4 system.
You want the whole thing?
So yeah, I cleanse, I moisturize, I use the liquid to powder to don the prosthesis, and then at night I cleanse again. I always go to bed clean, and I'm using the night moisturizer, which I can't say.
You can use. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
I think the night moisturizer has changed my anatomy on these long-term calluses that I've had from being a heavy prosthetic user. Those are gone.
Yeah.
Those are gone.
Yeah. So you can keep your prosthesis on all day with no issue.
That's correct. And when I came into California yesterday, I was 14 and a half hours in the prosthesis.
Where you drove the whole thing?
Yeah, that's not that. And I'm that guy. I got to get there. So, but I was thinking about it. I'm like, yeah, wear the prosthesis 14 and a half hours today, but no discomfort, no skin breakdown.
Great.
That's
really
and that's what so unique about the system. It's alleviating any bacteria, any inflammation, and things that I would experience that I'd want to be taking that off because of discomfort. Now, that's a big factor that we haven't talked about, is when you have that little tiny, and I don't have to tell you as a doctor, that little tiny raspberry from the trim line abrasion, that's discomfort.
Yeah.
That discomfort has been alleviated in my personal life using this system, and that's why I'm so excited about it to tell people. Is because if you've got a little discomfort, your activity level goes down.
Yeah.
The more sedentary we are, the bigger problems we have. So if we can keep and get optimum performance from our skin integrity through the prosthetic socket, then we're all going to do better. So that's just, I'm just over the moon with it.
Do you think the way that it is promoted online is the way to do that, or would it be preferable to have your prosthetist be knowledgeable of this and hand it out at the time you get your prosthetic device?
I would say that I'm a prosthetist as well. So I don't know if I told you that after I got into disabled sports and working with manufacturers of prosthetics for many, many, many years, I went ahead and got certified after being out of it. I figured, well, you know what, well, I live it every day, so I went.
Yeah.
So my answer to that question would be yes. I think we need to provide it to the prosthetists, and
Right.
let them understand what the outcome. You know, it's going to help their outcome, and that's the big thing. Is, you know,
Yeah.
all prosthetists out there work hard, they do a good job, but let's optimize their outcome. Let's educate them that, hey, this is going to make it even easier for you. Some patients can't take pressure. Some patients can take all the pressure from a socket all day long. It depends on their, you know, activity level and their age, obviously. So if we can get the practitioner educated with it and supplying it with the prostheses, win-win. If we can, educate the patients that, hey, we really got to take care of your skin. You're going to do better. You're going to be in the prosthetic longer. It's not going to overcome or interpret what your activity level is because you had that breakdown or that hot spot. So in the long answer, I think we need to educate everyone there, because it just hasn't existed. And I've been amputee almost 40 years, and there was nothing really out there. You know, nobody even thought about this. They just say, well, here we have the latest liner, here's the latest microprocessor knee, and no skin integrity.
Here's a jar of Vaseline.
Yeah, and that's a fact. Backbone was the big one. And I used to laugh. You know what this is? I used to laugh. They're like, this is for cow udder. I'm like, but that's what it was for the last 20 years.
Right.
I think
it had one minor problem in the old one. It had mercury in it.
Okay.
So they took the mercury out, and all they had was Vaseline left, but they still call it backbone.
Oh yeah. Okay. I wasn't aware of that, but you know, there was again nothing out there to reduce the friction. So the powder to liquid friction reducer is fantastic.
So Greg, it's been a pleasure talking with you, and perhaps in a future time, or maybe even today, you can show people actually how to use this stuff.
Okay, yeah, that's why I'm here. I'd love to. I'm excited about it. Thank you, Doctor.
Nice to see you.